Today we're going to start 11F, which is the area of a triangle. So I've set up my book just like I want yours set up, with a line down the middle, and I'm going to do my heading in red just like I would expect you to do, area of a triangle. So when you upload your work, you'll have a copy of these notes in it so that I know you've watched it and that you've taken these notes down so that you'll know what to do. So what we know so far is if we had a rectangle, we called this the length and we called this the width. And we worked out that if we wanted for a rectangle, the area equals the length times the width. So when we've got a triangle, the triangle only takes up half that space. So see how I've drawn a triangle there? So to do a triangle, it's kind of the same, except you do the length times the width, but you half it because a triangle only takes half the space. The only difference is for a triangle, we call this the base, letter B, and we call this the height, and that is H. So if you want to find the area of a triangle, you do the base times the height, and then you halve it. Or you can write it as half times base times height. So that's a bit of an algebra thing now, isn't it? Because we've got B and H. What are B and H? Well, whatever the base is and whatever the height is. So triangles can be drawn in basically 3 different ways. There's the nice easy ones like this, where this is the base and this is the height. There's ones like this, where this is the base and this is the height. And then there's also ones like this. That's a bit weird. The base is this bit here and the height is this height here. So we call that the perpendicular height. Sorry, this is meant to be a B. So the height must always be perpendicular, straight up and down like that. Because if you remember from earlier topics, perpendicular means at right angles too. So this is at a right angle, this is at a right angle, that's at a right angle. So let's write that down to remember. Height is the perpendicular height. So straight up and down makes a right angle. So let's do an example so you know what you want your setting out to look like. Can you please draw this triangle? If you need to stop the video at any time to catch up, please do. So we want to find the area of that. So we go, area is half times base times height, which is half times 12 times 6. Times 5, sorry. So half times 12 is 6. 6 times 5 is 30 meters squared. It doesn't matter what order you do it, because if you did 12 times 5 is 60 and then halved it, you'd still get 30. If you did half of 5 is 2.5 times by 12, you'd get 30. You probably wouldn't do it that way because that's a bit hard. So the order doesn't matter because it's just multiplication. All right, let's have a look at a second example. I'm going to draw a bit of a weird triangle like this. And I'm going to tell you that this is 10 centimeters. And this one here is 13 centimeters. Again, copy this down, but if you need a bit more time, just slow the video. Let's move this up for us. Area equals half times base times height, which is half times 10 times 13. Half of 10 is 5 times 13 is 65 centimeters squared, because squared's our unit for area. So you'll see in the announcement, I've told you what questions I would like you to do. So I'm just going to refresh your memory on how to set out your book, because I know the last bit I got, some of you seem to have forgotten with all this time online how to set out a book properly. All right, so I'm about to start the work. What exercise are we doing? Exercise 11F. So in red pen, I've written down what that is. What questions do I want you to do? Well, on the announcement, it says question 1, all. Question 2, A, C, E, G, I. Question 3, all. Question 4 and question 5. So I find if I write those down now, I don't have to keep flicking back to the announcement. I know exactly what questions I've got to do. So then I get out my textbook and I've got mine just here. So I'm going to look at my first question. It's question 1A and it's a triangle. I'm not going to do the triangle. You don't have to actually draw out the picture, but I know it's going to be area. So it's half times, the base is 10, and the height is 6. Half times 10 is 5 times 6 is 30 metres squared. So that was A part 1. Going across, have a look in your book, A part 2. It's also a triangle, so it's half times, and my base length is 8 and my height is 3. Half times 8 is 4, times 3 is 12 centimetres squared. So that's the sort of working that I want you to do for each of these questions. I'll just do B part 1 because it's a bit weird. Half times the base length. If I turned that triangle around, I could make the base 4 and the height 7. If I didn't turn it around, it could be half times 7 times 4, but it's going to be exactly the same thing because half times 4 is 2 times 7, 14 centimetres squared. Half times 7 is 3.5 times 4 is 14 as well, but that's hard. The other way I could do it is 4 times 7 is 28 and half of that is 14. So I'll get you to continue through the book. I suggest you write your questions up the top like this. And I also want to see uploaded to Canvas these notes as well, so I know that you've taken the notes and you've done the questions. And I'll be on chat, so if you've got any questions, you can just ask me there.